On the east bank of the Nile, the Luxor Temple stands as a massive monument of sandstone and statues. To most visitors, it looks like a typical ancient Egyptian ruin, a static collection of pillars abandoned to the desert for millennia. But step inside the main courtyard and look up. Built directly into the ancient pharaonic columns is an active 13th century Islamic mosque. Medieval builders wedged the mosque's structure directly into the stone. Its doorways and wooden balconies sit suspended several meters above the ground, protruding from the sides of the ancient columns. It's a logical puzzle. How did a medieval Islamic building end up floating inside a courtyard that predates it by nearly 3,000 years? Luxor is not a dead site, but a vertical timeline. To understand this architecture, we have to read the history of human faith here, layer by layer. In 1400 BCE, the great pharaohs Amenhotep III and Ramses II oversaw the monumental construction of this massive, sprawling temple complex. This temple functioned as a machine to rejuvenate the royal Ka. In ancient Egyptian belief, the royal Ka is the living, divine spirit of kingship. Every pharaoh needed this space to renew that spirit and justify their place on the throne. During the Grand Opet Festival, priests paraded statues of deities down the 2.7-kilometer avenue of sphinxes. This public procession allowed the pharaoh to openly renew their right to rule before the people. This site provided the ultimate public validation of a pharaoh's rule. Foreign conquerors like Alexander the Great realized they needed this space to justify their own reigns, so they added their own shrines to the complex instead of destroying it. The Romans later transformed the sacred space into a legionary fortress. They established an imperial cult chamber, with Roman officials painted directly over the ancient hieroglyphs. Luxor's ideological weight made it a mandatory political tool. Every major empire felt forced to physically stamp their authority onto its walls. When Roman influence eventually faded, the temple's daily maintenance stopped. Over centuries, wind-blown sand and silt filled the courtyard, slowly burying the massive columns to their chests. Coptic Christians built a basilica on this elevated ground. Later, the 13th century Abu Haggag Mosque was constructed over that church's ruins, completely masking the ancient world below. For generations, locals lived, traded, and worshipped here. They were entirely unaware that the colossal pharaonic monuments lay sleeping directly beneath their feet. The process of burial effectively stacked distinct eras of civilization into a single preserved coordinate. The modern rediscovery of the temple began in the 1880s with the arrival of archaeologists. Archaeologists spent years removing centuries of compacted urban rubble to reach the original pharaonic floor. They carved deep trenches through the high mounds of dirt that still covered the avenue of sphinxes. Because the Abu Haggaj Mosque was central to the local community, it was preserved. Workers excavated the dirt from beneath it, leaving the mosque permanently stranded midair atop the newly exposed columns. Exposure created new dangers for the sandstone. Today, salt-laden groundwater leaches into the stone, which accelerates structural decay. The World Monuments Fund and other local partners have intervened to stabilize the foundations and treat the stone fragments, halting the deterioration. The temple's architectural signatures even influenced designs far beyond Egypt. Its columns and motifs sparked an Egyptian revival in buildings as far away as Chicago. Luxor Temple reveals history as a living, adaptable structure. It survives by embracing every new era of human devotion.